A taxi driver was working a late shift during a cold rainy night when he received a request from a lonely road on the edge of town. When he arrived, he saw a young woman standing under a broken streetlight. She entered the back seat without saying a word and quietly gave him an address. As they drove through the empty streets, the driver tried making conversation, but the passenger remained silent, staring out the window. After several minutes, he glanced at the rearview mirror and felt a chill. The back seat was empty. Startled, he immediately looked behind him, but the woman was sitting there exactly where she had been. Thinking he was tired, he continued driving. A few moments later, he checked the mirror again. Empty. He spun around once more. There she was. Smiling. His hands tightened on the steering wheel. When they finally reached the destination, an old house at the end of a dark street, the woman stepped out and walked toward the front gate. The driver waited for payment, but she never returned. Annoyed, he got out of the car and knocked on the door. An elderly man answered. When the driver described the woman, the man's face turned pale. Without a word, he disappeared inside and returned with an old photograph. The driver nearly dropped it. The woman in the picture was his passenger. The old man explained that she had died in a car accident 10 years earlier and that the house had belonged to her family. Shaken, the driver hurried back to his taxi and drove away. The next morning, he reviewed the dashcam footage to prove to himself that none of it had happened. The video showed him picking up a passenger and driving through the city. But the back seat was empty the entire time. Terrified, he skipped to the end of the recording. In the final seconds, just before the woman supposedly left the taxi, a face suddenly appeared in the rearview mirror. It was smiling directly at the camera. Then the video ended. The end.